In this video, I'm going to show you how to do a quick outline in Inspiration Maps. This is an outlining program and a mind mapping program that is on the iPad. There's also a desktop version, so it works really well with the desktop version. So let me first discuss how and why I use this. Outlining is very, very important to organizing your ideas. And for me, because I'm both dyslexic and dysgraphic, then sort of creating a game plan to be able to do my writing first is the best way, is the most efficient way I can write. I certainly can meander around and re-edit and edit and edit and edit, but most of the time, particularly in graduate school, I just don't have time for that. So I have to be able to think about this efficiently. So the process that works really well for me is for me to sort of dump all my ideas on a sheet of paper and then organize them and move them around. And so this is the app that I use to do that. If I want to do a basic outline, or in the next video, I'll show you how to do the same thing on the desktop app if I want to do something more complex. So let's start with, this is what it looks like. That's what the icon looks like. You launch the app, and you can already see I use this app quite a bit. And I'll show you some different papers I've done on this and everything, but let's just get really started simple, something really simple. So I'm going to hit the plus button. It's going to ask me if I want to do an outline or a diagram. I'm just going to do a diagram. And what you see here is the very beginning thing, and so this is going to be my main idea. So there you go. I don't even need to type in. That's my main idea. And I can use my finger to tap and move. And if I want to add sort of an introduction, so let's talk about writing a paper, intro. I can add that. Then I come back up here and tap and hit the arrow button again. And this is idea 1. And then tap idea 2. And then tap idea 3. I'll just do conclusion. Conclusion. Somehow that word dispel doesn't look right to me. So like I've just created another one that I don't need. And so I'm going to highlight it and then just hit the trash button. So along the top, you have home, you have diagram and outline. I'll get to that in a second. You have, this allows you to put all sorts of different shapes, and you just have elements and just all sorts of things. Then the next button over, and I won't do it, I won't tap on it, is the undo button. Then you have the multiple select button. Then over in the right hand corner, I can choose to share, print, send the app somewhere. I can, if I want to, add a cloud bubble to it. I can change the color of various items. So if I want to make this one orange, because that's really important, I can do that. I can then choose to delete it, tap on that, and then I've got my tools area. Now, you do connect this up to, when you first set this up, you want to connect it up to Dropbox. So it allows you to dump your files in Dropbox, and then on the desktop application, you can then load it into the desktop application and add to it. And I'll show you that when we get to the desktop application. But what's really nice about this is, let's say I start thinking about stuff, and so this is, point 1, and then I'll try point 2. And now let's say I've sort of thrown that out there, I've kind of organized it the way that I want, but let's say I want to change this and I want to move that from point 2 over here to idea 2. And so it allows me to do that sort of visually, and I can add my quotes and I can add pictures and I can do a bunch of different things. But here's what the beauty of this thing is. When I go to write my program, when I go to write when I go to write my paper, I just hit this button over here in outline, and it takes everything and makes an outline out of it. And I can minimize these, and I can move them around. So here, or over here on the left-hand side, I can bring this up and make idea 1, idea 2. I can bring it back down. I can take idea point 2, I can bring it out and make it a major point. I can bring it back in under idea 2. I can basically organize it however I want, and then I export this out as a text file, bring it into my writing program, and there's my outline. So this is a phenomenal program for just organizing your thoughts. And in the next video, I'll show you how to do that much more elaborately with diagrams and pictures on the desktop. Now, the last thing I want to show you here before I leave this video is I want to show you some real live some real live paper. So this is actually the, you can zoom in, this is the outline for this course. And I can hit the outline button, and I can see here that this is the outline for the course. Now, one of the things very interesting is I originally put video before the outlining phase, and I like that, but I may want to change that, so I can just click this, go up. But then I think, you know what, outlining does really belong. I'm going to make notes on my videos first, and then before I would outline. So it does really belong there. Again, I can export this, tap up here, hit export. I can email it to myself. I can add it to Dropbox. I can then send it to another application on the iPad if I want to do my writing on the iPad. Like, for me, my preference is to do writing on the computer. I just like a full-size keyboard, and those little fold-out keyboards just don't do very well for me. So that's what I want to show you. Let me show you one other one. I'll show you a real-life paper. This is a paper I did on stigma. And these are the different elements, and you can see here how things intertwine and move around. I'll show you, I wrote a book on, well, here's another one. This is how to use digital media effectively, and that's basically an entire outline for a book. So you can get pretty complicated with this program. This is a wonderful time saver and a wonderful mental organizer. So very rapidly, you just throw things on a page, or you lay them out the way that you want to. You click the outline button, you reorder the outline the way you want, and then you export your outline, and then done. You can do your writing. So that's it.